Hello, everybody, and welcome to No Zone, the No Zone. I'll get used to saying that eventually, but hello, how are you doing? You're probably all wondering why I'm on doing a stream at 12:30 in the afternoon because you don't really see me this early. Um, Obviously, as I told you, all we were switching internet provider, and they came this morning. So we're up early. We've been up early actually. I only had about 4 or 5 hours sleep, to be honest. We've also been prepping the house, getting it ready for painting the sitting room now. So we've moved a lot of crap out as well. So we just, because we got up early today, we just decided to kind of chill. And I was sitting here, I was wondering, I was kind of thinking, will I do a game and stream, or will I do a stream here? We will be streaming on Rumble next week. I'm gonna just start doing weekly streams. I'm gonna try organize. There's a lot of Irish people that I follow on Twitter right now at the moment. There's a lot of stuff going on in their country, so I want to see if I can get some people on that are from Ireland, from my own country, onto Rumble to talk about the state of the country and the things that are going on in the country, and let you guys know actually what's going on in Ireland, because people mightn't be aware of how bad it's actually gotten over here. I can't believe it either. I'm shocked. Um, so yeah, I want to do that. I want to try get some people on from your own country to tell you what's going on. So I'm going to be organising that behind the scenes. But obviously, we got a new internet connection. So I wanted to come on and actually test it out as well because I didn't want to be going live tomorrow and, we having problems all over the place because the connection is bad or something. It didn't actually take long for it to sink in. They said it'd take about 20 minutes. It took literally 2 minutes. It's fiber optic, they say, but in this complex, it may as well be internet from the 1990s. But I have noticed a difference already, so I'm kind of chuffed about that. So I wanted to just come on, test out the internet connection as well. But obviously, while we're here, we might as well got me phone here. So I thought we'd do something different today. Um, and we'll see what's going on in the world of Twitter, and I'll give you my opinion on it. I think that'll be fun. But I want to talk about this whole just talk about this whole climate change stuff, and I have to be careful, right? Because actually, before I do start, there is something that is more important to talk about, and this goes out to me fellow YouTube content creators, especially the people that we know. So YouTube has been the algorithm has been getting rid of channels, taking channels down, and the thing about it is that when the content creators show what videos are getting taken down, they're videos from 6, 7, maybe 8 years ago, right? And some channels, like, they've appealed and they've lost their appeal, so their channels are gone. YouTube is becoming extremely difficult to stream on. So I just want to warn me fellow content creators out there. You have to be. I know I hate to say this because we shouldn't have to walk on eggshells. Unless you're explicitly being a hateful so and so, or you're spreading absolute misinformation and stuff like that. I do agree that shit should be taken offline. We can't have misinformation, but both sides do it anyway. So nobody knows what to believe, right? But the fact that YouTube or their algorithm now is targeting channels, you just want to be very careful. Now, I've seen that most of the channels so far that have suffered from the algorithm are either from American YouTube content creators or Canadian content creators. As you know, Europe, and because Ireland's part of Europe, we have our own separate rules in regards to internet and stuff like that. I'm not saying we're a bit freer over here on YouTube, but certainly not as bad as it is in America with the censorship, but it's getting that way, if you know what I mean. We're getting as bad as the States, but we won't get into that. That's for Rumble, because if I start on here, man, we'll be here all night. But Daniel saying the internet connection is good. Yeah, I'm glad. It seems to be rather stable, so I'm delighted about that. But yeah, it's bad times on YouTube if you're a content creator. So you know, just be careful out there, you know, and be careful, especially if you're talking. I've seen a lot of channels that talk conspiracy theories. Like, channels talk about conspiracy theories. They're a big corporation, a big second commercial conspiracy theory channels on YouTube. But yet it seems to be the ordinary Joe Soap that has set up a channel and talks conspiracy theories. Apparently they're bad, but the commercial channels are okay, you know. The ones that are given their check mark and all of that nonsense. So yeah, it's a funny situation on YouTube. A lot of these content creators now have gone on to Rumble. What's going to happen is Rumble is going to get a lot of influx of content creators. Now, the radical left will tell you that, oh, it's only all right-wing people that are going on to Rumble, right? Everybody's going on to Rumble. It doesn't matter who you are. Even left-wing content creators are being hit, and they're even like, what the hell? And they're moving over, or they're putting their second channel up just in case their YouTube channel gets hit. So, you know, I would say to everybody out there, if you run a YouTube channel, if you have the option of setting up a Rumble, I would. Rumble will improve, because the more people they get, they'll have to update their stuff and stuff like that, because there'll be a lot more traffic. They'd have to do something about that. So it's like all platforms. YouTube had to start somewhere as well. Also, this climate change stuff and the weather. So I have to be careful what I say here as well. But I just find it quite funny that when you look at the weather now, they have all reds and oranges and stuff at 20 degrees and 25 and 30, right? Back in my day, right, 20 was in the green, right? You had, I think it was when it got up to 28, 29, then it changed to, I think, orange. And then when it got higher, then again, it went red. Listen, whether you believe it or not, there's one thing clear, that the media is lying. Because there's a screenshot here outside a pharmacy. Another way, they have the crosses outside, and some of them actually have the time on it, and they read the temperature, right? So the news is reporting that it's 42 degrees, right? Live on their news. It's right here. I don't know if you can see it, right? Probably not, but it's there anyway, right? So try move the camera. So there you go, right? So they're saying it's 42 degrees, but yeah, the cross outside the pharmacy, it's saying it's only 32 degrees, right? So the media, you know, they're lying right in front of you. They're adding extra degrees and all onto these temperatures to give you the illusion, right? We've had a typical Irish summer, right? And what's a typical Irish summer? Well, it's rain, more rain, thunderstorms, right? Today we've got sun, right? So I just don't like the fear mongering, because it does no good. It does no good because then it heightens people. People start acting out. Then always ends up getting violent, and for what? So leave out the nonsense is what I would say. Anyway, let's see what else we've got. Oh yeah, the Noel Clarke situation. So it's kind of funny that ever since the scandal at the BBC broke, everybody, the media has been talking about. Piers Morgan brought up about Noel Clarke, about how he was cancelled even though there was no charges brought against Noel, or no even investigation. There was no crime, no charges. These women didn't go to the police. They went to the Guardian newspaper. But it's kind of strange because a couple of people involved in the Justice for Noel Clarke movement, as you know, there's a few of us involved, but the two main people that spearheaded it, which is John the White and Gobby Guy, have been asking journalists to look into the Noel Clarke situation again. And they've tagged them in the video where Noel Clarke has made it clear that no charges have been brought against them, and 4 detectives back him up and all of that. But what I find strange is that these journalists start blocking those two. So I went in and I asked them, why are you blocking people that are asking us to look into the Noel Clarke situation? An innocent man who was never charged of any crime and was never investigated, because none of these alleged victims went to the police. They went to the newspapers instead. They went to the Guardian. Right? So I find it kind of strange. So this morning I woke up because I tagged a couple of journalists, and one in particular has blocked me, and that's happened a couple of times. Anytime we ask any of these journalists to look in it, whether it's from the Guardian, it doesn't matter what media outlet, every time we get blocked. There's something funny going on there. Why would they not want to investigate something if there's a possibility, which we believe it's more than a possibility? We believe he is innocent. But if the media out there sniffed there was a possibility, why aren't they doing their job? Right? The police have already said there was no investigation. 4 detectives backed Noel Clarke up with that. No crime was ever reported. So why hasn't the media, and this is the interesting thing though, why hasn't the media followed up on that actually? And reported on that 4 detectives back them up? Why isn't that in the newspapers? Why isn't that a headline? Because there's something fishy going on. Because without saying too much, because we know that Noel is taking legal action, so I don't want to say anything that ruins that. But all I can say is that this whole situation goes back years, and that's all I can say. And this was definitely a targeted ploy by someone who used people to do this, and that's all I can say without giving no way. But Noel has never brought it up. But I'm actually starting to think that as well. Daniel brings up a good point. Noel has never said it, but I'm starting to think now, why are all of these journalists, when you approach them and you show them this information, they block you. And I'm actually starting to think, I'm actually agreeing with you there. I think there is an element of that. And I think it's rather disgusting. An innocent man's life is being ruined. He is innocent. And there's people out there, which again, I have to be careful, with the recent scandal, people are like, oh, let's see him back on TV. It doesn't matter that he cheated on his wife and his daughters, but we want to see him on TV. People saying they want to see this man back on TV, like, the other bloke, the BBC bloke. Like, ridiculous. Ridiculous. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. But I found that very interesting. But the media have been doing that quite a lot, blocking anybody that questions. And guys, you should question, because I know there are people out there that, want to believe that Noel is guilty, especially the feminists within their fandom, right? It's like, if you've seen that Piers Morgan report as well, where he was talking about it, and the female journalist that was there, the feminist one, and she made a snarky comment under her breath that everybody picked up on, because Piers was pointing out the fact that, that Noel had nothing to answer for, and she didn't like that. And I've seen this attitude as well in the Manchester United fandom. There's been a couple of footballers in the Premier League that have been accused of stuff, right, in regards to women, and some of them have been found not guilty, right? But the attitude, even after he was found not guilty, by people in the Manchester United fandom was startling, right? Even when you're found not guilty in a court of law, people say, and I pointed this out, and you get blocked for pointing out, I'm sorry, but he was found not guilty. Like, the court system, jury, found not guilty. And this is the thing, a man gets accused of something, right? The thing about it is that people are going to automatically believe the person that's making the allegation. And I said this, and I'm going to say it again. Yeah, if people are naive if they think that some women will not take advantage of that whole system, right? Because if it was the other way around, I know for a fact some men would take advantage of that system. They would. And it's disgusting, right? I'm not saying we shouldn't listen to an alleged victim. We should always listen to an alleged victim. But look at the difference between the BBC presenter, how that whole thing was handled, about how the media, they wouldn't name him for ages, right? But yeah, the Guardian had no problem naming Noel Clarke. And then in the process, overnight, ruining his career and his life. Nobody thinks about his wife or his kids. This just doesn't affect Noel. This affects his wife. Maybe his kids are a little bit too young to understand, right? But they know that there's something up, because kids are very intelligent, right? His friends, some of his closest friends would probably, even if they're in the public eye, would probably have to stay away and all of that. He's gone through hell, man, and still throughout it all, he's being humble. We've had him on here. He's a nice guy. It's an absolute shame. It's shocking. It's shocking the way society has gone. You could just literally accuse someone And again, if you notice, the Guardian actually had no evidence to back up any of the claims that these people made, just like they never do. And this is another aspect as well. There should be processes in place where the media cannot leak a story like that or release a story like that until at least the police have looked into it. But they don't do that. You know, the media is acting like judge, jury, and executioner. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, let's see what else is going on in the world of Twitter. But it is disgraceful. And to everybody, you know, Noel Clarke is an innocent man. And people really need to open their eyes to what's going on here. And it's a sad situation, as I said. Anyway, we got to talk about Grace Randolph because she's done it again. And for anybody that doesn't know what I mean, this woman slated the Super Mario movie, and as you can tell, I'm a huge Super Mario now. I've had this T-shirt for about, well, I think a year, 2 years now, but I've had this T-shirt. I'm a huge Super Mario fan, right? And I was a bit apprehensive about the movie, but when I seen the movie, I absolutely fell in love with it, and I love it, right? People will nitpick at certain things. I don't care. It gave me everything that I wanted from a Super Mario movie, and I wasn't expecting that. But Grace Randolph did a review of that movie, and well, she became a bit. Well, Grace Randolph becomes memes all the time, but she became another one because she came out with ridiculous of why she didn't like this movie. And everybody, rightly so, gave her stick for it. So Oppenheimer and Barbie is out now at the moment, and apparently she doesn't like Oppenheimer because, hold on, what was it? Hold on. I retweeted it because it was funny. Hold on. So where is it? Someone blocked me because I said so. Basically, Barbie is shy. Brilliant. We'll get into that now in a minute. Right. So this is what she said about Oppenheimer. Right. Now listen to this because this is scary. And the reason why I say scary is because this woman clearly lacks any intelligence whatsoever. And doesn't understand history or know our history, because this absolutely sums up what's wrong with Rotten Tomatoes and all of these so-called critics. See, when you make these people famous, right? When people make these idiots famous, because remember, she started off like us, right? You make idiots like that famous, yeah, this is what you get. So this is what she said about Oppenheimer. A misfire for Nolan. Too talky, and like many of his films, lack emotion. So this woman doesn't like complex movies where there's a lot of talking in them, folks, right? So when it comes to listening to intelligent conversation, it goes over her head. She wrote this, right? This part is funny, right? Because this proves that this woman shouldn't be a critic, right? And there's some blokes out there as well that have done reviews as well that they shouldn't be critics, right? But this is my favorite part, right? Listen to this. The story is hard to follow and is unfair to history. But the film looks good with some good performances, even if most of the characters are unlikable. Also, not a good use of IMAX. Oh. Okay. That's the reason why Grace Randolph should not be a critic, right? But it gets worse. So she slammed Oppenheimer, right? Read the review. She slammed Oppenheimer, but guess what? She absolutely loved Barbie, right? And why did she love Barbie? Right? She loved Barbie because it was a feminist triumph, apparently. Now, I haven't seen the movie yet myself, but a lot of people are talking about one particular scene where they get a lot of young girls with baby dolls in their hands or something, and while they're chanting, "We are not," something like "We are not mothers" or something, the little girls are slamming their baby dolls' heads off the ground, like smashing their heads in, basically. So apparently, there's a lot of that messaging going on in this movie. But she did praise it. I'm gonna try get up already. Hold on, bear with me for a second there, um, because look. At the end of the day, they were always gonna mess with Barbie, right? It's it's just it's just what they do, right? So where did she wrote this? Hashtag Barbie was one of the greatest films I've ever seen. It was super fun, super feminist, and I could watch it on a loop. To see so much of what I think and feel captured in the movie was incredible. Review tomorrow when embargo lifts. So obviously she was going to do a review. But there you go. It was a super feminist movie, right? And all the things that she wanted to be in Barbie is in it. Now, the critics are saying that Barbie is a decent movie, right? So we know it's going to be shite. Um, but I am still gonna watch it because I'm gonna see how many people I can get on that have watched the movie, and then we're gonna review it ourselves, like we did with the Doctor Who panels. We're going to like do a review of the Barbie movie, and I also plan on doing a movie review of Oppenheimer as well when I watch the movie. But this woman should not be nowhere near critiquing movies. And by the way, I've been into Rotten Tomatoes and I've even seen these critics go into old TV shows, and you should see their comments. I mean, they just don't get it. I mean, some of these people that are classed as, um, Rotten Tomato verified critics, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Um, look at, I get it. She probably thought Gladiator was too boring for her as well. I don't know if she ever reviewed that movie, but I'm pretty sure she would have found that boring. Movies like Minority Report, I Robot, they go all over her head, right? So I wouldn't even be listening to her. People are freaking out though about our reviews, right? I mean, look, I kind of had a funny feeling they were going to use Barbie and this was the opportunity to kind of like make another feminist movie. Look at they did the same with Ghostbusters 2016. Look what happened there, right? It flopped. Okay. Now apparently Margot Robbie went up to the execs and she told them that she'd make them 1 billion, but now she's had to reassess that. Listen, this movie will do well, obviously, the first couple of days, I reckon, because people, but as soon as word of mouth starts getting out there and people find out what this movie is really about, um, I think then in its second week it's going to completely collapse. And I don't think they're going to make anywhere near 1 billion. for this movie. I'll still give it a go because I said I would, you know, and that's what I'll do, you know, because I'm gonna watch Oppenheimer as well. Because as I said, you know, these two movies kind of need to do well for the industry, I think. But you know, by the sounds of things, you know, the Barbie movie seems to have a lot of issues for some. Actually, there was some fan that actually tweeted at Mattel, is it the company that makes Barbies, and they only come out of the cinema. They said you've ruined Barbie for me. I'm absolutely devastated. And you know they referenced Star Wars, and I was like, holy shit, man! It must be really bad. But I won't know until I watch it myself. As you know, yourselves, I'll always watch it myself first and make up my own mind. But it's not looking good for Barbie. Oppenheimer, on the other hand, you know, intelligent people will get that movie. People like Grace Randolph will just go over their heads and be too talky and stuff, and you know, because they can't follow the movie because they lack intelligence, they will zone out of that movie. So you know, Barbie is her level anyway. If you think about it, you know, because they're two different movies. You know, Barbie is dumb and supposed to be fun, whereas Oppenheimer is history and is about history, and that'll go over Grace's head. I bet you Grace never did well in history class, if that's the way he's doing it in America. Well, I did very well in history. A lot of Irish people do very well in history because it's drummed into us pretty early, you know. Um, but she clearly doesn't have the brain span or the intelligence to follow that movie. So I'm not surprised that she slated and said it was too talky for her, because she doesn't really get it. So, you know, it's not her fault. It's not her fault. I blame the educational system in America. Absolutely bad. Absolutely bad. Right, let's see. So some feminists is gone mad because Let Cinema put up Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer has sold 10 times more tickets than Barbie in India. And then this feminist turned around and said, it's only because men can't fathom consuming anything that doesn't explicitly center around them. Well, you see, here's the thing, you feminist idiot. The fact of the matter is Barbie is not actually aimed at the male demographic. What will happen is that fathers will go with their daughters if there's no mothers around or the mothers are working, and bring their daughters to go and see Barbie. Also, boyfriends will go with their girlfriends because, you know, boyfriends will do that for their girlfriends. You know, we won't tell you why, but they'll go to the movie as well, right? And then if a wife wants to go and see it with her husband, they're going to see it. And then if two a same-sex couple want to go to the movie, they'll go to the movie too. But the bottom line is that the demographic for this movie is for the girls, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. The fact of the matter is that, you know, you're trying to elevate it more than it should be. Bottom line is that Oppenheimer was always going to sell more tickets, but that doesn't mean that Barbie is not going to do well. As I said, we'll see if all of these things are true about the movie. It will flatline in the second week, as we've seen for most movies, and that'll be a shame, right? Because what worries me is that she's saying it's super feminist, right? But Amy Schumer says that she left the project because the movie wasn't feminist enough. So, you know, it must be really bad. Anyway, that feminist is like very bad, very bad, very bad. What else have we got? Let's have a look. Anything interesting? do. Oh yeah, Disney. And we'll be talking about it on Friday, but things are not going so well at Disney that Bob Iger has put a third of the company up for sale. We'll get into the details of that on Friday. So this is what a review critic. Oh no, sorry. This is a trial lawyer who obviously went to see the movie. Blue check mark, if that's something to go by. But this is what they said about a particular scene. The Barbie defining scene. Little girls taking their baby dolls and bashing their heads in on rocks while chanting, "We are not the mothers," was just waiting for Dr. Barbie, a trans, to openly perform abortions in the film. That's how awful the movie is. Don't go. So then people started to question if that scene was actually in the movie, and it was verified by several people in the chat. I mean, listen, they think they're being clever, right? They think that's subliminal messaging, right? But the thing about it is they don't know how to do it properly. That it's obvious what the message they're trying to send out there to little girls, right? They're trying to normalize that thing as well that happens in clinics all over the world, right? They're trying to normalize that, and then you have little girls bashing their dolls' heads against rocks and saying, "We are not mothers." Come on. You know exactly what message that Barbie movie is sending. So that scene is in it. So that's a red flag, right? It doesn't matter if I haven't seen it yet. The fact of the matter is that is a red flag, right? That's a red flag right there and then. So what other red flags are in this movie? We're living in a dangerous situation, dangerous time. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, let's see. Let's continue this. This is fun. So that's the Barbie scene that everybody is complaining about. And to be honest, if you're bringing a little kid to that, especially your daughter, and they're saying that, I mean, what kind of message is that to send to people? We will be talking about Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck and Aquaman, because some news has come out about that, which is very interesting, which we'll talk about on Friday. I mean, oh yeah, you will find this funny. A Pfizer warehouse that was stocked with COVID-19 vaccines was just destroyed by a tornado in the Rocky Mountains in North Carolina. God doing his work for us, sending a message to the world. Absolutely madness. Oh yeah, just back to Barbie real quickly. In the Spanish, in the Spanish premiere, they had a load of drag queens and stuff at the premiere. Some dressed in like bondage gear and stuff. Like kids are going to that movie, little girls are going to that movie, and they're dressing like that in front of them. Like it's absolutely disgusting. Any adult that dresses like that in front of kids is disgusting, in my opinion. Put some fucking clothes on. What else have we got? As I said about the weather, we got JWC reviews in the chat at work, but stuck my head in briefly. Nice to see you. So Disney's Indiana Jones 5 took in 300 million at the box office so far. A disaster for CEO Bob Iger and Lucasfilm. And we will be talking about that on Friday. Very interesting. So apparently, the Daily Mail's reporting this, so pinch of salt. So a veteran U.S. Marine fears he'll end up dead like Jeffrey Epstein after being warned by Men in Black not to speak about UFOs. He claims he saw during Sumatran earthquake humanitarian mission in 2009. Maybe he's just looking for a bit of fame. But I do believe there are aliens out there. Why wouldn't there be? What else have we got? Oh yeah. So the Bud Light CEO hasn't learned any lessons because apparently his consumers of his beer are confused. Yous are all confused now, folks. Yous are confused. So yeah, they 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 haven't they haven't learned any lessons, and they're not going to learn any lessons. So keep not drinking their piss water anyway. As I keep saying, I can't actually fathom why anybody, but Cheryl actually explained to me in certain parts of America that's the beers that they drink. But I just don't know how you can drink piss water. Good Lord, man, get a real fucking drink, like. So yeah, these are all confused, which is ironic because you know there's confused kids out there that are being brainwashed into thinking they're a different gender, like, and he's gone around calling people that don't drink his beer anymore because he backed Dylan. Um, it's just ridiculous. Like, shut up! You've lost millions now, right? I think you've lost billions. Why would you want to lose any more money? Like, are you deliberately trying to bankrupt your own company? Makes no sense. We'll keep doing it, and people will keep boycotting your beer. I know it's crap. We drink proper beer, but fucking get away. Oh yeah, watch the Wham documentary on Netflix. I have to say I really do recommend it. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's absolutely fantastic. What else have we got? It's not really a day for news today. You know. Actually, we'll see what's trending. Right. So what have we got? We got Australia versus Ireland. Um, oh, it's the women's football that I haven't been watching. The Irish women's football team. I have been watching the women's football, but I just forgot about that. Let's see what. Well, we lost 1-0 anyway against Australia, so we couldn't beat the soccer rules. So I mean, we must be crap. So we got all Star Trek. We got Girls in Green because the Irish team were obviously. This is my Sonic Screwdriver. Obviously, the Sonic Screwdriver was announced 6,906 tweets. Defund the BBC is trending as well. And Jesus Christ is trending. I think a lot of people out there need to pray to Jesus Christ for what they're doing to kids. Absolutely ridiculous. Pray and make good with God. Are they still flogging Baby Yoda on the Mandalorian? There, so Deadline Hollywood wrote this about Oppenheimer because Grace Randolph's review just makes me laugh. So the Deadline Hollywood said this: Oppenheimer review. Christopher Nolan's epic thriller of the father of the atomic bomb is as frightening as it is brilliant. So as I said, people shouldn't be listening to Grace Randolph because because inside her head she's got two peas, and they act as our brain. Seriously, man. I don't know how these people get anywhere near this industry. Why is Oasis trending? Oh, because someone else sang their song. Nah, man, I thought it was actually Oasis coming back. I would have been happy about that. Um, yeah, nothing really that stands out. Maybe it was the hair that triggered that. Off note, if Jesus is trending. Well, it wasn't about me, but yeah, that was funny yesterday. Um, yeah, actually, it's mad. Just for anybody that's interested out there, is this deadly heat wave that the media are talking about. Now, remember, for the last couple of weeks and months, they've been prepping you guys. This is how this works. They've been prepping you, slowly telling you that the temperatures are increasing and stuff. Now their main plans coming into action now to take this heat wave. Listen, we've gotten heat waves in the past, right? I remember back in the 80s, we literally had a full summer in Ireland. Never happened, very rare that we get 3 or 4 months of just pure sunshine. That's what we did. There was even a drought at one stage, right? There was even a drought here at one stage. But yeah, we got through it, right? We have heat waves, right? You don't get heat waves all the time. They come in cycles. And we're going through another cycle now, but the media want you to believe that you're responsible, and for them to fix it, they need to take more of your money. Don't buy into the bullshit, like. So it just Doyle protester fell on her own, whatever she was pouring. Oh, she poured oil. So she poured oil on the ground. So they don't give a fuck about ruining the environment. But she fell on her own. She fell on her own oil and hurt herself. But I will say there has been a lot. Look, I called it. I did say when this all started, we even did a stream on it. We spoke about it. I said that we'll get to the point where the public originally, I would say, well, when I say the public, it was never the majority, but it made it seem, the media made it seem that the public was behind them. But you can clearly see now that the public aren't behind them. And unfortunately, there has been moments of violence. And I told people that this was going to happen. These people were going to get sick and tired of this. And, everybody is condemning the latest video where a bloke kicks one of these activists, and he'd kick him in the head, as people suggest. If you look at the video properly, he hits the hand, knocks something out of his hand, and he grazes his head with his foot, right? But people are condemning the bloke for doing that. But here's the backstory. The bloke in the video that's actually gone crazy is a husband, and his wife was pregnant, and those Just Oil protesters were responsible for his wife crashing her car, right? A pregnant woman. So that was the reaction of a husband, right? That was the reaction of a husband. So before you all jump the gun and say you want this man locked up and he should see prison time, no, he shouldn't, right? And this wouldn't be happening if the police had doing their jobs in the first place. These people are a disruption now. They're actually causing serious harm to people with that absolute rubbish and tripe, right? So they need to be sorted. There needs to be prison time for them, right? People are trying to get on with their lives, go to work, go to hospital appointments, go to doctors, whatever it is. And these fucking idiots are in the middle of the road, stopping people from getting on with their lives, right? Nobody's saying that people can't protest. There's ways of protesting, but they think by disrupting everybody, disrupting the sports events and doing all of this stuff, that we're going to get behind them. I warned you that this was what was going to happen. You continue to do what you do and go down this path, it's going to get worse. And nobody wants that, right? You've been had anyway, right? Climate change is going to happen anyway. Solar output from the sun has changed, so the weather changes. Learn are bloody fucking facts. And don't be listening to all of these reports that are put out there that are paid for, these climate scammers, right? And even the scientists that are on board, they're only on board because they know there's plenty of money to be made, right? And if the climate is changing and the sea levels are going to rise like they've all claimed, well then explain why Obama, right, Leonardo DiCaprio, all of these actors and former presidents, right, have beachside fucking mansions and houses, right at the coastline, right? So if the sea levels are going to rise, the houses are going to end up in the fucking ocean. And then all of these same gobshites are flying around on their aeroplane. Sure, one of the Just Oil women, the one with the pink hair, tomato soup girl that threw the fucking tomato soup at the sunflowers, Vincent van Gogh painting. Remember? Tomato soup girl, right? That's what I call her, right? She was on a fucking skiing holiday. She went on a fucking skiing. How did she get there? right? One of the Just Oil activists that's being exposed that he got paid by Shell. Shell, an oil company. It's all a fucking scam to get more taxes out of you, to get more money out of you, and you are falling for a hook, line, and sinker. Just like everything else. Anyway, that's his choice. He could do whatever he wants, but you know, the real issues you should be worried about is cleaning our oceans, getting rid of all the plastic from our oceans, trying to find eco-friendly ways of doing it so we don't harm the ocean life, right? Cleaning up our beaches, cleaning up our cities, right? Cleaning up our towns, right? That's what we should be worried about, right? Keeping the planet bleeding clean, the oceans clean, the ecosystems clean. And listen to this, Greta was out, she's being pictured, right, giving the two fingers and all of that, and actually mocking, doing her whole UN speech and mocking it, right? But she was outside a cafe, right? She was having something to eat, right? How do you think all of that stuff was powered that you're eating, you fucking idiot? Right? The planet produces oil naturally, right? It gave us coal, right? Don't be telling me that we're not to be using these things, right? And we have to use the oil. These people are really dumb. The planet provides for us all. Remember that, right? We're all interconnected, right? Every animal, every plant, every human, we all have a job, right? It's absolutely ridiculous. People they just don't know basic science, or they don't teach science in America. But you're being conned. And I've spoken about this on numerous occasions on this channel about that it's got to do with solar output and everything else around us. And actually the axis of the earth has shifted a little bit as well, which happens, right? All of this is connected. That's what's responsible for your climate change. But these idiots want you to believe that you're responsible, right? They want us to get CO2 levels down and all of this. They don't even know what they're doing. They're going to fuck up this planet. And then they want to slaughter all the dairy farmers' cattle. Ridiculous. It's a con. It's a con. People need to wake up to it. It's an absolute con job. It's to get your money. More taxes, folks. More taxes. What else have we got? See if there's just one final look at Twit Twat before we finish up. We're on the hour mark. Let's see. I mean, all of this nonsense, I'm just looking at from the weather there. I mean, they've got red and oranges. They're really trying to scare you now, right? That's all it is. Remember, we've had heat waves before, folks. This is nothing new. I lived through several, right? One, as I said, when I was a kid, went on for nearly 3 or 4 fucking months, man. It was still bleeding sunny in September. We were still having heat waves in September. Don't be buying into this rubbish. The weather's going through a cycle like it always does. And if you listen to the actual climate scientists, the climate change scientists that have been disregarded or disrespected or dragged through the mud, if you listen to them, they explain it in great detail, right, of why this is a scam, right? And it's all money. And there's a few climate scientists out there right, that will not, will not discredit themselves for money. And also, if you look, and this is true, but when it comes to scientists and aeroplanes, let's just say that it hasn't went well for certain scientists in communities when they want to shut people up, if you know what I'm trying to say there, in a roundabout way without getting into trouble with YouTube because they're a bunch of idiots. But, when they want to silence people, they'll find ways, is what I'm trying to say. This whole thing, Greta, all of her cult, this is her fault, and the UN for listening to this woman, and Al Gore, Leonardo DiCaprio, all the early, the first was, global warming. We had the Yasser rain nonsense as well. The ice caps were going to melt. All of this other rubbish, right? And now they've just called it climate change. And then when that doesn't work, when they can't convince people, but they are going hard on this one now, in fairness, they're going more harder on this climate change one than they ever did on the other ones. So maybe they perfected how to keep people scared, and that's what they're doing. When you turn on the weather forecast now, all you're seeing is oranges and reds, and that's to reprogram your brain, because when we were growing up, it was, as I said, green and yellow. But now they've changed the colours and made them darker. And that's the scare. Remember, red is always red alert. Red alert. That's why they use the red. Amber then is another colour that's close, obviously, to red, but amber is another warning colour. They don't use greens anymore. It's a scam. They're a bunch of con artists. And they want your taxes. They want your money, right? We already give these bastards enough money, but they want more, right? They're never happy, right? More people want to get rich, right? And as I said, all of these climate people that fly around, and people have to ask, right? They say that Greta uses this ship or boat or whatever to sail all around. Has people actually seen it? Because I have my suspicions, She even tried, remember when she tried to pull a fast one in Germany? Was it Germany or something where they said that they didn't offer a seat, right? And they snapped back and said, actually, we offered you a first class seat, but you chose to sit out in the hall. And she got someone to take a photograph and write up, oh, you wouldn't give me a seat and all of this crap. She's a liar. She's a fraud, right? And there she was mocking how dare you, while laughing, right? She knows her and her family deep in all of this, man. All they're interested in is making money. And her sister, by the way, just to let you know, just in case you don't know about her sister is a pop star, right? So her sister sings so her sister goes all around the world. She doesn't go on an electric aeroplane plane, does she? Does she get a boat to all of the countries where her concerts are? No, she gets on a fucking plane. Wake up, man. Wake up. You're being conned. Right? The climate is going to change. You're not responsible for it. Right? But it's not as bad as these idiots are making out. You're not gonna turn into Kentucky Fried Chicken if you sit out in the sun. Right? You just use your max factor like you do your skin protection, like you've always done, folks. Right? It'll be a little bit hotter in some countries than normal, but as I said, it's a cycle, right? It's happened before, right? They try to erase temperatures back in the day, but you can't because they're there. So people can actually compare and show, look, this is when the temperatures were like this the last time. It's bullshit. And a lot of people buy it, and it's actually sad. People need to wake up. That's the bottom line. Or they're just going to take more money off you. And then when they convince people that this thing is real, and listen, they're manipulating the weather as well, right? Because they want to push this narrative. See, this is the difference now. They've had this technology for a long time, but I think they've perfected it now. And they can literally create clouds, right? Jeremy Clarkson went to NASA, and there's actually video. He shows you this machine makes clouds, and then a few miles away it will rain. They do the same with other weather that we have, like thunderstorms, like tornadoes in America as well. They can create them now. They can create bad weather conditions. Now they can't. They try to raise the temperature of the world by spraying it with the chemtrails, right? But they still won't be able to actually do it, what they want to do, seriously. But they need to convince us to, because look, if everybody's convinced climate change, what will happen is the CO2 levels will come down to where what they want are all the gases to come down, but then that has an effect on the planet, and then the grass stops growing, and then everything else stops growing, and then before you know it, then we've got a hunger crisis, because this is what this is all designed to do, folks. They want to control us. They're even talking about bringing in digital money now, digital banks, and we've already seen it in some countries, right? You want to get rid of paper currency, and you want to go digital, another way of controlling you. People need to wake up. Look, when all these people come out, say other conspiracy theories and all, they always end up coming true. And lately, that has been the case. A lot of conspiracy theories that people were laughing at people for have come true. So wake up, man. Wake up, right? We need to expose all of these people, stop this from happening once and for all, and as I said, the environment, the planet itself, cleaning the oceans, cleaning cities, towns, that's what the priority should be, right? There's a lot of plastic, a lot of nets, all of that shit in the ocean that kills a lot of ocean life unnecessarily. Okay, that's what we should be concentrating on. We should be concentrating on the countries that pollute the oceans the most, and we know what those countries are, right? That pollute. We've literally seen shows where people have went over and showed us the amount of plastic in the oceans, right? And they're trying to find ways of getting the plastic out of the ocean as much as they can. Because not just the big bottles and barrels and stuff like that. There's little minute pieces of plastic as well that they've got to try get out. And there are groups out there that work hard on trying to do that. But that's where the money should be getting pumped into. Clean air canals as well. There's a lot of canals, a lot of rivers you could clean up as well. Like there's a lot of stuff that we could actually do that would benefit the planet. This is not going to benefit the planet. This is going to make it worse. These people have an end game, right? These people have an end game, and the end game is not good, right? So you need to wise up. Do your own research. It's this climate change thing, right? People say it's a hoax. It's not a hoax. Climate change is very much real. The hoax is that we're responsible. Remember that. That's the hoax. But this is real. But it's not as bad as people are making it out to be. We're all going to fry up like crispy fried chicken, as I said. Right? That's not going to happen. Right? We go through these cycles. This will go, and we'll go through another cycle. What happens then when the weather goes the opposite way, which it will, where we'll have rain and wind and harsher winters and stuff? What are they going to say then? They'll come up with a new warfare then, right? They can't keep this pretense up anymore, folks. It's being exposed on a daily basis. And these celebrities and all these other people that come out and speak about it, you got to be questioning them. Like when a celebrity, well, what's your degree in climate? What's your expertise? I mean, what degrees do you have? What diplomas do you have? What? Show me something that tells me you're an expert on climate, right? Where's Greta's credentials? What's Greta's credentials? Leonardo DiCaprio, what's his? What's Al Gore's? You notice a pattern here, right? Obama has been speaking up quite a lot as well, right? But listen to the names that I'm calling out, right? They all have something to gain and benefit here. None of these politicians, ex-politicians, are these celebrities come out with this nonsense unless they got something to gain. Like, ask yourselves a question: is Leonardo DiCaprio driving an electric car? Is Obama driving an electric car? When he's being escorted around, as former presidents do, when he's being escorted around the country, he's in electric cars. Right? If Biden is so concerned about the climate, why is he flying around the world on Air Force One? Is Air Force One an electric plane? Is there something the Americans are not telling us? As far as I know, Leonardo DiCaprio is driving around in a big sports car. He does have an electric car as well, but he's still driving around in a big ass car with a big engine in it. Ask yourselves where they get the material for those batteries and what they have to do to the land and who they use to get that material for the batteries as well. This is all a scam, right? They actually wreck the environment with these wind farms, right? When they put them on land. Now they've started to put them out at sea, which is fair enough because you put oil rigs out there. So I have no problem with that, but that's where in reality they should all be, you know. But not all around the coast, because obviously people like to go to the beach, and the last thing we want to see is fucking wind farms everywhere. But they should be in isolated places where people don't go. That's where they should be. They should be out at sea. They shouldn't be anywhere near land because they do terrible environment to the damage to the environment, I should say. And when one of those propellers breaks off, they're not made out of recyclable material. They have to bury them in the ground to get rid of them. They can't even recycle them. Like, some have exploded. Right, there's video footage all over. It's funny that these people that bang on about climate change, they don't look at these videos and see the damage, you know, see the other side, to maybe see have they been conned. And that's what I hate about society, you know, that these people are not even willing to look at the other side of the argument and make up their own mind. They're so consumed by what they believe, just like these Just Dial protesters. It's gone too far, man. People are literally going to end up dying because of these people. And I think so they have been responsible in the fact that they've stopped ambulances and stuff, or people getting to the hospital. I think there has been a couple of deaths. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere there was one at least. So, you know, it needs to stop. People need to wake up. This is another con job. Like, there's been many con jobs done on us over the decades, and this is just another one. So wake up, smell the coffee. Oh, don't drink coffee now because it's racist, apparently. But everything's racist. Owning a dog is racist. You know, drinking coffee is racist. Climate change is racist as well, remember, because it only affects the poor black people, apparently. And what else is racist? There's loads of shit that's racist now. So I'm going off to have a racist cup of coffee because I'm a racist. And you know, I'm gonna pet my dog because I'm a racist. And as for the climate, well, I think the weather is going to change now. We're going to get a bit of rain, but I'm not responsible for that. But apparently I am. I'm a racist. And that's what we are, folks. Us The tables have turned now. We're the racists, folks. We're the racists. We're the white supremacists. We're all of this, apparently. Yeah. Mad. Mad. You can't even enjoy a cup of coffee without them shaming you. Really is funny. Really is funny. So, I think that's it now. I think we've covered everything. As I said, I was just going to come on here and talk random topics. We weren't planning, obviously, we don't stream on the Thursday, but I got the new internet connection, so I wanted to make sure that there was a smooth transition, which there has been. Absolutely fantastic, I have to say. So, the job done. You're only in here for a couple of minutes. It was great. It was like we could have bloody done it ourselves down in reality by the looks of fucking things. But the engineer came out anyway, hooked us up, and it's working because obviously I'm talking to you guys now. So there you go. So we're gonna leave it there. Mine is milk and 2 sugars. Feck off, you cheeky sod, you go and make your own bleed coffee. Oh, the missus. Oh, what's this? Summer dress, cowboy boots, and denim bleed. Where are you going?
I'm just going to shop.
You going to shop? Lovely. Could you get me some painkillers? 'Cause I've got a bit of a headache, and some cough sweets, please.
Cough sweets?
Yeah.
Cough fruit lozenges?
Yes, please.
Oh,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anyway, she's looking rather sexy there. Okay, you did. Go. How to turn your husband off in 3 seconds. I says how to turn your husband off in 3 seconds.
Yeah. I have my phone.
No problem. Ring me if there's any trouble. I'll be down. I'll do my TJ Hooker impression. Anyway, I'm still watching now. I'm on season 3 now. Obviously, I'd only started season 3 when the engineer came in, and then the internet went. So but then I wanted to check. I was going to watch TJ Hooker actually, and then I said, I'll do the stream first because I don't want any problems. But yeah. She's crazy. Wow, you know. 6 years nearly, folks. Fucking hell, man. Madness. Anyway, that's married life. I know we had look, like most married couples at the start, we had a bit of a rough start. Got to be honest, there was a lot thrown at us and stuff, but we dealt with it, and we have nothing but a laugh now. It's brilliant. I mean, our sense of humor, both of our sense of humors bounce off each other. It's wicked. But yeah, she's gone to the shop now because she was feeling a bit bored and she wants to go before the rain. But just before we go, actually, from a football point of view, St. Patrick's Athletic weren't playing last night as I thought, but they are playing tonight, and we've actually got the UEFA flags in the stadium. Pats are 2-1 down from the first leg of the first qualifying round. So I mean, Jesus Christ, lads. Normally the League of Ireland teams normally get into the second or third round. That's where they fail. They never fail on the first hurdle, but they got their goal on the 93rd minute. Pats did, to bring it back to 2-1. So they're live tonight here. So it's going to get a bit fucking crazy later on. Europa Conference League right outside the window. And I hope they go a bit far because we might get a decent team playing out there and I'll be able to watch a decent fucking football match for a change. So yeah, kind of might take a look at that later. So kind of looking. It's too early now, LOL. It's my 22nd wedding anniversary tomorrow. Well, congratulations. for 22 years married. Jesus. Man, I hope I make 22. That'd be great. But that's brilliant, that is. Yeah, I mean, man, dad is married a long time as well. Man. Over 40 years now. Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Pats have been doing good in the league, so I'm kind of surprised. He must have had, I don't know, maybe in the first leg he had a couple of injuries or something. But they'll play here tonight. I'm pretty sure with the crowd behind them, they will do very well. It's only 2 o'clock now, but I do expect a few fans, because what happens is they let a few fans in, because the fans will decorate the seats and all and get the flags up and get it ready for tonight. Like, so it'll be, either way, no matter which way it goes, it's going to be exciting to watch. That, to be honest. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Thank you, everybody, for popping in. And as I said, we will be back tomorrow. So come join us tomorrow. This was just a stream to do because I want to check the internet connection, and then I decided, you know what, we'll check a few things out on Twitter and see if there's anything worth bringing up. So we will leave it. Hold on, I thought I seen something there. No, we will leave it there for now. And as I said, come and join me tomorrow for member stream, and then we will be covering all things Hollywood on Friday night. Contact, and we've got some Disney stuff. We got the writer's strike stuff. We've got, obviously, we were talking more and getting the panel's opinion on Grace Randolph and her comments, and loads of other stuff to cover. So come and join us on Friday night. That's at 9 o'clock. And if you're a member, you can catch me probably in the afternoon again for our member stream, where we'll cover one particular topic that we're going to be talking about with the other panelists on Friday night, and I will be giving you my opinion on that. And we might do a little bit of a deep dive into Grace Randolph's reviews from the past and just have a bit of a laugh and a piss take, because anybody that says a movie is too talky, I couldn't understand it, tells me, as I said, lacks intelligence and shouldn't be watching movies like that. It just goes over the head. Barbie's her level. She thought that was a great feminist, super feminist movie. Right, that's her level, Grace Randolph. And that's the type of movie she should be reviewing, right? Feminist movies. You do that. That's what you should be doing, right? This is the woman that didn't like Super Mario Brothers, and then didn't know that Super Mario changes into different costumes in the game, and exposed herself to be the fraud that she is. But as I said, two peas as brain cells, that one. Anyway, I'm logging out. I'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. I may be on later on the Irish Geek and might do Ghostbusters later on. Might do a bit of eFootball as well, because there's new competitions. We'll see which one. But I will be doing a stream of each anyway over the weekend, hopefully. That's the plan. There is a Man United match on as well over the weekend, so join me on that channel. I will be setting up that stream when I leave here. Manchester United will be playing Arsenal, so if you want to follow me on Noel the Red Devil, please do. You can catch me over on the Irish Geek. We've got 400 subscribers, and that's where you'll see me gaming. And then here we will be talking about, obviously, all of the stuff that's going on in Hollywood, reviewers, all of this other stuff, having conversations about all TV shows and which are news from Queen Charlotte and all the other stuff that we do. So, as I said, we've rebranded the channel now. We're still just waiting on, obviously, to see what Lee is cooking up, and then we will change the branding permanently then. But I want to thank everybody because everybody's stuck with me so far. We've lost 1 or 2 subscribers, but that was bound to happen. It's YouTube, you know, the monthly purge, so I'm not worried about that. But I want to thank everybody because everybody stuck by me. They haven't left, so I really do appreciate that. And as I said, there'll still be loads of stuff to do here, and we'll have some fun along the way as well. And we will be doing some movie reviews because there is some movies that I am interested in, and some movies. See, this is the thing. I'm only going to review the movies that I know I'm going to watch. I'm not going to review movies just for the sake of it if I'm not going to watch them, right? And just listen to other people. I'm going to watch these movies for myself. And whatever movie I'm watching, obviously I'll let you know, and then we will do a review and bring a panel on, and hopefully those people see it, because that's what I want to do now. See, we're going to do this. We're going to do it properly from now on. And this is the way it's going to go moving forward anyway. So I might as well just get it out there. So what will happen is I won't be just bringing on people for the sake of bringing on people anymore. When I do a certain topic, I will be giving you the information on that topic, and I expect the people that come on then to actually do their research, watch the movie, whatever it is, right? You know, I think it's only fair for the audience that I bring people on that have actually watched these things and stuff, because, you know, there's no point in bringing people on that are just going to talk for the sake of talking about something because everybody else is saying it's crap. I want people on that are going to actually watch these movies and watch these TV shows and stuff like that. And also, as I said, we'll be doing Oppenheimer, which I know I'm going to love anyway, but I'm looking forward to that movie. We won't be just doing, I don't even know if Barbie will be crap. We've heard some of the reviews, but I'll watch it myself. I could have a different opinion. But even if it is crap, I want to make clear we will be reviewing Oppenheimer, and we will be doing positive reviews as well. I know that's a kind of a dirty word on YouTube because everybody just likes to complain about stuff. But I want to do some positive stuff as well, and we've tried to do that anyway. We've been doing that for the last couple of months anyway. We've been slowly changing without anybody really noticing, to be quite honest with you. It's just now made it official. But we've kind of moved away from some of the stuff that we've done and doing different stuff anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, see you later. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and hopefully I'll be sitting here celebrating Pats winning their game in Europe, but I doubt it. And there'll be murder if they don't win. Anyway, bye.